UFC Mexico City's ending was indeed not as per UFC's desires. After shifting Pereira vs Hill from UFC 301 to UFC 300, the only champion left from Brazil was Alexandre Pantoja, who is definitely not worthy to be a headliner of a pay-per-view until he had a great opponent. And Moreno was the best available option, who is the only star in the whole flyweight division. But as he has now moved down to number 2 in the rankings, giving his number 1 spot to Royval, let's check what are the next possible options for man and co-man fighters. I'm the Indian accent guy and you are on Fight Book. Brandon Royval thinks he's Colby Covington, who loses the title fight and gets another after a single win. First of all, he doesn't have star power, so he doesn't sell shit. Secondly, he's 0-2 against the champ and lost the second fight to him via dominant decision. Pantoja literally 50-45'd him. Moreno win is also a split decision victory, so there is not a heavy chance he gets the next flyweight title shot. But as there are still chances for him to get the shot, he will definitely wait until the announcement of Pantoja's opponent for UFC 301, and if it's not him, then he as the number 1 contender can choose any top 10 to beat and secure the next title shot. The best options which can cement it are Amir Albazi, Manel Kape, and the winner of Mokaev Perez. Personally, I would like the matchup between him and Manel Kape. Manel Kape lost his UFC debut against Alexandre Pantoja, but now he's on a 4-fight win streak with 2 first-round knockouts. Now he stands on number 6 in the flyweight division, ready to crack the top 5 and push himself into the title contention. Both fighters have lost to Alexandre Pantoja and now both want to face him again because he holds the belt. So this fight can definitely give the winner the next title shot. Brandon Moreno, after losing his number 1 contender spot, is in a very difficult condition. He had a lot of options in front of him until out of nowhere Henry Cejudo called him out. Cejudo came back in the UFC with a desire to become a double champ again, this time in bantamweight and featherweight division, but now it seems he just wanna retire on a winning note and he thinks Moreno would be the biggest and the easiest fight. Both are former champions, with Cejudo holding titles in 2 weight classes, and both are in dire need of a win. Henry Cejudo is widely regarded as one of the greatest combat sports athletes of all time, having achieved Olympic gold in wrestling before transitioning to MMA and winning UFC titles. So fighting Cejudo would provide Moreno with an opportunity to test himself against a legend of the sport and further solidify his own legacy. A victory over Cejudo could propel Moreno's status as the top contender in the division and even lead to a title shot. Same goes with Cejudo, who can also get the flyweight title shot with the win over the biggest star in the division. After beating Yair Rodriguez, Brian Ortega is now back into the title contention, but not as the top choice. Currently, there are 4 fighters in the title contention. On the top is Max Holloway, who is guaranteed the next opponent for Topuria if he gets past KG and becomes the new BMF. Let's suppose if Holloway doesn't get the win, then the second option would be Alexander Volkanovski getting his well-deserved rematch. So in this scenario, waiting for UFC Spain is maybe not a good idea because Ortega comes 3rd as a fan's choice, so he should face Movsar Evloev, who is also in the title contention as 18-0 undefeated top 5 featherweight, being on an 8-fight win streak in the UFC. Known for his exceptional Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills, Ortega is a dangerous submission specialist with a well-rounded MMA game. He possesses solid striking skills, particularly his boxing, and has shown the ability to absorb punishment while remaining dangerous throughout the fight. Evloev, on the other hand, is an undefeated prospect with a background in freestyle wrestling and sambo. He possesses excellent grappling skills with a strong wrestling base and the ability to control opponents on the ground. In addition to his grappling prowess, Evloev has grown improvements in his strikings with crisp boxing and powerful kicks. So it would be a fascinating matchup to see how their styles clash and who emerges victorious as the new #1 contender for the next title shot. Yair Rodriguez is now 2-3 in his last 5 UFC bouts, and it's time to defend his spot against someone outside of the top 5. The winner of Calvin Kattar vs Aljamain Sterling at UFC 300 will also be in a position to get a chance to make the top 5. Fighting the winner of Sterling vs Kattar would provide Rodriguez with an opportunity to face another top contender and further solidify his status as one of the best in the division and not only the gatekeeper. Both Sterling and Kattar are highly ranked contenders in their respective divisions. A victory over either fighter would elevate Rodriguez's position in the rankings and potentially put him in line for a title shot in the future. A few other fights I would like to see after UFC Mexico City are Fares Ziam vs Brad Riddell, Yasmin Horechi vs Poliana Viana, and Manuel Torres vs Thiago Moises. If you have some better fights in your mind after UFC Mexico City, do tell me in the comment section. Now I'll see you in the next video, so till then, do whatever you want.